Hello everyone, welcome to this session. I am Dr. Tangzakhombi Akoizum from the School of Tourism and Hospitality Service Management, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Today I'll be taking you through the details of the Master of Tourism and Travel Management program. Well, the thrust of this management at the master's level is to contribute to the pool of tourism professionals at the managerial level. But before we go on to the details of the MTTM program, let us see some of the unique features of IGNOU. With the mission to reach the unreached, as well as to provide education, higher education, that also quality higher education to learners without any discrimination in terms of the caste, creed, reason, or the gender of the learners. The university has a basic guiding principle of the provision of individualized study. This individualized studies is given in terms of the flexibility in terms of place, space, and duration of study. You can sit anywhere, you can be anywhere in the country and be a part of the IGNOU program. We have flexible admission rules. We have two admission cycles, one in the January cycle and another is the July cycle. We have cost-effective programs in the sense that the programs are affordable to many people. And the learner support system, it is through a network of regional centers and study centers located all over the country. So there is a three-tier structure. We have in Delhi the headquarters, and in important cities all over the country. We have the regional centers, and under each regional centers there are a number of study centers. Now, study center is the focal point of contact of the learners with the university, where they get the information and then they get the counseling facilities. Now, the programs of IGNOU, they are in a modular approach. For example, if you have studied two courses, then you may be given a certificate degree, and on top of that you do another 2 or 3 courses and then you get the diploma. Thereafter you will get the bachelor's degree and then the master's degree. In the School of Tourism also we have a certificate program in tourism studies, the CTS. Then we have a diploma in tourism studies. And in the bachelor's level, we have two programs. One is Bachelor's of Tourism Studies and another is Bachelor's of Vocational Tourism Management, which is a CBCS program. And then we have the Master of Tourism and Travel Management, and we also have the, the PhD program. Now, let us see who can take the MTTM program. So this program, it will be useful to those who are already employed in the tourism industry, whether they are directly or indirectly involved in the tourism industry. For example, there may be someone who is working in the State Tourism Department or the Ministry of Tourism. Then somebody who intends to take managerial jobs or make a career in the tourism industry, or a person who wants to start an entrepreneurial enterprise in the field of tourism. Someone who is already providing tourism related services, be he a tour operator or a travel agent, or you are working in the airlines industry, or you are working in any other field but you want to switch career and start your own business in tourism related areas, or you are associated with tourism awareness program, because when you are creating or awareness about the tourism, the negative and the positive impact of tourism, then obviously that understanding about tourism is required, and understanding that also at the managerial level, because it is not only about the impacts or about the other areas of awareness, it is also about how to manage the program. So there are also people who are associated with tourism research. So this is a program which will be beneficial for them. And for all those who want to update their knowledge in tourism, this is the right program to take. So we have admission in two categories. One is category 1, which is for learners who already have a background in tourism. For example, a person who is already working in the tourism industry, but here the admission eligibility criteria is in terms of the degree that you have. So a person with a graduation in tourism, a BA in tourism or a BTS program, BSc, which is hotel hospitality and hotel administration, or a bachelor's in hotel management, which is approved by AICTE. And for all those learners who have done their graduation in any field, along with a 1-year diploma in tourism, which is recognized in the university system. Now, category 2 is for student or learners who have a recognized bachelor degree in any field. But however, all the students of category 2 will have to pass 4 additional courses during their period of study. This is to give them a background of the tourism industry which they have missed. And if you look at the courses, the 4 additional courses, one is TS1, which is Foundation in Tourism, TS2, Tourism Development, Products, Operation and Case Study. Another course is on Management in Tourism, and the last one is on Tourism Marketing. So if you look at all these courses, core areas of tourism in terms of the basic concepts, in terms of products, operations, management and marketing are covered in these 4 additional courses. The duration of the program is the minimum it is 2 years, maximum it is 5 years. And for a person who is enrolled, fresh admission, he can complete the program in 2 years, but his enrollment will be valid for 5 years. This is very beneficial to a person who is already working and not able to devote time. So we give them a maximum years of 5 years to complete the program. So he can pace it and then schedule his own study plan. And when the maximum 5 years is over, we also have another provision of readmission, wherein once you do the readmission, you get another 2 years, 2 additional years to complete the program. So quite a lot of flexibility is given to complete and to facilitate the learners in completing this Masters in Tourism and Travel Management program. Well, the medium of instruction as of now is in English, and fees, since there are 2 categories, we have 2 fee structure, and this is understandable because in category 2 we have 4 additional courses. Now, after the first year, whether the learner passed or attempt the first year examination or not, he or she can seek admission in the second year. This is through the re-registration process. The form has to be filled online and the fees are to be paid. So in MTTM program, fees are collected annually. But for the benefit of the students, in order to further facilitate the student, we allow the student to sit for the exam of the courses in semester-wise. So there are 16 courses in the MTTM program, 15 are theory courses and 1 is a practical-based dissertation work. So these 16 courses are equally distributed into 4 semesters. In the first semester, we have 4 courses, which deals with, one is the management functions and behavior in tourism. The second course is on human resource planning and development in tourism. The third course is on managing personnel in tourism, whereas the 4th course deals with the information management system in tourism. And in the second semester, we have got another 4 courses. We take care of the accounting and finance for tourism managers. Then we have marketing for tourism managers. Then managing sales and promotion in tourism is another course that we offer in the second semester. Then managing entrepreneurship and small business in tourism is the last course in semester 2. If you look at the additional 4 courses in the category, for the category 2 students, we have slotted them TS1 and TS2 in semester 1 and TS3 and TS6 in semester 2. The understanding is that The student, no doubt, can give their examination as and when they are prepared for it within the maximum duration of the program. But we recommend that student attempt the additional courses in the first semester, 2 of them, and in the second semester, 2 of them. So coming to the third semester, again we have 4 courses here. Understanding Tourism Market, which is a very important course and full-fledged course that we are bringing in here and not studying it as part of the tourism marketing. And MTTM 10 is on tourism impacts. Then we have another on tourism planning and development, and the 4th course is that practical-based dissertation work. The idea of bringing the dissertation work in the 3rd semester is that in the dissertation we have certain steps to be followed, and the first is the preparation of a proposal, a 1,000-word proposal, which is to be submitted to the program coordinator after getting it signed and consultation with the supervisor, which will be allotted to the learners. And the program coordinator evaluates the proposal, and based on the proposal which is submitted, the comments are given, and if it is approved, then the student or the learner is allowed to go ahead with the dissertation work. So this preparation of proposal and getting approval from the program coordinator, it is a time-consuming process, because they have to send a hard copy, and then we evaluate it, and then we give our comments, and many a times students, they are not able to get their approval at the first go, maybe because the format of the proposal is not correct. So unless and until you are getting since you are getting a master degree, and unless and until you know how to prepare a proposal, it is not what you call, we do not give approval like that. We make sure that the student, they know how to prepare a proposal. So this dissertation is kept in the 3rd semester, so that at least the student have 1 year, 3rd semester and 4th semester. So by the time they complete the courses of the 4th semester, and they can complete the program in that 2-year stipulated time, minimum time duration, then this dissertation will also be complete. Because this is a compulsory course, the dissertation has to be completed, and the student has to get at least 40% mark in order to clear the dissertation. So in the 4th semester, we have the last 4 courses. One is on tourism products. We deal with the design and the development part. And then another important area is on tourism operations. And then the next course is on tourism transport operation, and we are giving more emphasis on the road transport. And the last course is MTTM 50, which is meetings, incentives, conferences, and exposition. And we have revised the course, so the revised version is also there from 2020 onwards, MTTM 115, which is on MICE management. So here the 16 courses are distributed into 4 semesters. Now, as far as the instructional approaches is concerned, we have the self-instructional study material. Now, this is available both in the printed form and in the electronic form. Soft copies are already uploaded on IGNOU, where the learner can, it is a open source platform where anybody can register and get the material from there, download it and use it. We have teleconferencing facility also through Gandhi. Students are counseled, and face-to-face interaction with academic counselors at the study center. Like I said before, study center is the focal point where the learner get to meet the university officials or the university counselors and gets the doubts cleared. And in the counseling session, this is not the conventional lecture-based classroom teaching. We have given you the learners the instructional material, so it is expected that a learner will go through the material and they will come to the counseling session and get their doubts cleared from the counselors. Now, among the 16 courses, all the theory courses in the MTTM program, they are of 4 credit, And in the IGNOU system, 1 credit is equal to 30 study hours. So each course is, you are expected to give in at least 120 study hours. Whereas the dissertation, because of the importance that we give to the research work, it is of 8 degrees. So we expect you to pull in at least 240 study hours. And once you are devoting that much time to a particular course, then obviously the output will also be positive. Then we have assignments for assessment and feedback. Assignments are submitted at the study center and they are evaluated by the counselors, who in turn will give you the feedback. They will give back the checked assignments. The assignments are written back to the learner with comments on how they have answered the question. This is a type of preparation for the term and examination also. The learners are made aware how to answer the question according to the questions which is asked. Then we have the interactive radio counseling, where experts are there on the radio station, Gandhi, and we have a particular topic for a particular session, and then students or learners can ring the studio. The helpline numbers are given, and or they can come on through chat mode or through emails and post their queries, and the expert there and then in real time they will answer the queries for the learners. Now evaluation, it consists of 2 parts. One is continuous evaluation through assignments. The assignments are uploaded on the IGNOU website. The learner has to go through the student portal to undo the assignment, and then they have to click onto the MTTM slot and the assignments will be there. So they download it and they copy the questions, and then they prepare the assignment and submit it at the study center, wherein the counselors will be evaluating that. Another component is the term and examination. The term and examination, it is usually conducted in the month of June and December. And at the final tally, we take 30% from the assignments and 70% weightage is given to the marks obtained in the term and examination. So assignment is also equally important, and the term and examination as the term and examination. So learners are advised to give both emphasis on both the component, because 30% is a huge weightage which is given to assignments, and when you are preparing your assignment, it is, like I said, it is a preparation for the term and examination of how to tackle the question which is being asked. So now that we have gone through all the formalities or the basic information about the Masters in Tourism and Travel Management program, let us now see what are the contents inside each of the courses. Now this will give you an idea of how the whole program would be useful to whoever wants to come into the program. And this is equally important for both learners who want to enroll in the program as well as those who are already enrolled in the program. The additional information that we give here will benefit both. Well, tourism is one of the largest industry in terms of revenue generation as well as employment generation. Now, there are lots of services which are connected with tourism. For example, the tour operation business, the travel agency, the tour guides, then hotels, airlines are there, then transportation in the form of water transport, land transport. So more and more services are being included in the tourism sector. And at the same time, the tourists are also becoming more conscious about the value of the money that they spend when they are going on holidays. And on top of this, the responsible tourism concept which has come up, because the whole entire operation of the tourism industry, it depends upon the resources. So if the resources are not safeguarded, if the resources are not utilized properly, then the mass destruction of tourism destination is an inevitable part of the industry. And we are destroying the very base upon which the tourism industry is based upon. Now, all this all these challenges and the type of competition which is there with all destinations, they are all eyeing for a pie of the revenue generated from tourism. So all these factors, it has become necessary to adopt a professional approach while managing the tourism operations. And this approaches is in terms of how to manage the operations, the tourism operations, or whichever area of tourism that one intends to be a part with. Now, what happens is when you aspire to be a manager, then you need to have at least the basic guiding principle of management clear. And this is where the course on management functions and behavior in tourism is there. Here we deal with the tasks, responsibility, and the skill of a professional manager. We also talk about the management system and the decision-making models. We talk about the planning, the controlling, the leadership, and we also talk about the organizational culture. And many a times the manager are involved in mitigating the organizational conflict and changes, managing changes. So we have a unit especially dedicated to organizational conflict and managing change, because when anything new is introduced in a system, there is a natural tendency to resist. So how do you, as a manager, how do you overcome this and make sure that it is a natural progression is very important. So you also need to know about how to delegate your work and the interdepartmental coordination. And in terms of a behavior, we have analyzing interpersonal relationship. So how you deal with your subordinates, how you deal with your higher authority is also required when you are in the managerial position. The leadership styles are there, and the group dynamics is also explained. Now in MTTM 2, we talk about human resource planning and development in tourism. Human resource is the basis upon which the tourism industry is revolved, or the tourism industry operates. And the task of a manager is to make sure that the human resource who are working in the organization, they are given proper training. It is, the strategies are being planned properly. And so we have, as the introduction of this course, the concept and the process of human resource planning, taken into consideration the micro and the macro level of planning with the techniques and the methods of demand and supply forecasting. Why is demand and supply? The balance between demand and supply is necessary in tourism is because of the specific characteristic of the tourism products and services, because it is intangible, it is perishable, you don't have ownership, and it is not a homogeneous product. So if you do not forecast well how much demand will be there, and you keep on adding to the supply side, so there will be an imbalance and it will be wasted. So all the supply, if it is not in it is not in tune with the demand that is generated, then that supply will be wasted. So we need to forecast the demand as well as the supply. Now, job evaluation, job analysis, and job description is also taken care of in this course. We give a detailed description of what are the types of job as a manager, that the profile or the duties and responsibility which is there in the job that you will be taking up. You have the human resource audit, human resource accounting, the tax analysis is there, and the human resource development in the service industry. This is in terms of the training facility that should be given to make sure that the human resource that is there in the organization are up to the mark. So we have organizing for human resource development so that a functional tourism resource development can be constructed. And we also give a separate unit on the emerging trends and perspective. Now, when you look at the tourism service, many a times the service is produced and it is consumed simultaneously. So which means the person who is managing the tourism operation is vital in the whole chain of operations. Now, motivated, trained and professionally developed personnel or workforce is the mantra or the essential ingredient for the successful application or the implementation of the objective of a tourism organization. And the duty of or the responsibility of the manager is to make sure that he has such a dedicated workforce in place. Now, when you are given the responsibility of putting up a workforce which is which is in tune with the demands of the tourism industry, then it gives more emphasis on you to be clear about what are the expectations or what are the things that a personnel working in the tourism industry would require, so that they are motivated enough to stay in their job, satisfied employees. So we have the linkage between motivation and productivity also explained in this staff training, the different types of training programs that can be made, the types of developmental programs, personality development program which can be given to the employees. We also have promotion and reward policies. It is very important to understand all these things. Employee counseling is another area. Discipline, suspension, retrenchment and dismissal, these are sure to come up when you are involved with so many employees. Obviously there will be employees who are black sheep in the organization, to how to deal with them without discouraging the other employee is a very fundamental managerial aspect that needs to be looked into. Employee grievances handling. There will be employees who have got grievances against somebody. This may be in terms of the sexual grievances also, and in terms of they feel they are not being promoted to a position that they ought to be, and they are being and instead of them they have been bypassed and a junior employee has taken their place and so on. So many things are there, and all this needs to be understood if you aspire to be a manager. The compensation and the salary administration, laws and rules governing the employee benefit and the welfare schemes, as well as gender and other related issues in tourism. For example, you talk about competitions, and if you feel an employee in another organization at the same position is getting a salary which is much higher than the employee in your organization is getting, so obviously he might be tempted to switch over. So how to keep them motivated? So to understand the aspiration as well as the motivating factors of the employee is a very important aspect of the managerial duty. Now, because of the advancement in technology and information, in terms of information computer applications, the availability of information is instant now. At the click of a button, we have lots of information generated. Now, this puts an extra burden on the managers, because now they have this extra duty or extra responsibility of managing information, first understanding the information, knowing the source from where the information can be gathered, as well as understanding the information management system. So you have the role of computers in management. We described the key concept of data, information and knowledge. Then we have computer management functions and decision making, system analysis and design. It is not feasible to have a concrete or a full-fledged understanding of system analysis and design in a single course, but here we have at least attempted to familiarize you with the various information technology which is available and how do you assess and process that. So we have protecting information in computer. Everything has become computerized, so if a virus is affected or there is the danger of all the data that you have collected in the system to be gone forever, and so the protection of a computer is also very important. The social dimension of computerization, how with the advent of computers, how it has impacted the social life, that is also discussed in this course. Then we have the legal dimensions of computerization. Now in MTTM 5, it is accounting and finance for tourism manager. Now, accounting and finance is another critical area because tourism operations, tourism organization, all business organization, in fact, it is about earning profit while fulfilling the organization objectives. So having a basic foundation in the accounts and the finance part of the organization is also equally important. Even you may not be a manager in the accounting department, even if you are a manager in other areas of operation, it is equally important for managers to have a sound knowledge about the accounting and the financial aspect. So we have the accounting framework where the concepts are clear here, and understanding the financial statements, whether it may be a profit loss statement, you should be able to read a balance sheet or the fund flow statement. Cost management is again addressed here in terms of the types of cost, the costing to be done, the cost volume profit analysis or the variance analysis, these are taken care of. Then financial and investment analysis is another important part of this course, as well as the financial decisions, issues which are arising or situation which arises, which allows you to look for options, which type of financial decisions to make. Now MTTM 16 is marketing for tourism managers. When you are talking about marketing, you have the tourism product and services, but unless and until you make sure it is produced or it is developed in accordance with the needs and wants of the tourist, the pricing is fixed relatively to the expectation of the consumer, and you have the distribution channel in place, and then you make sure that the consumers are aware or the potential tourists are aware of the products that you have. Then if none of these are in place, then just having a tourism product or a services is not enough. All these things are important. The product should be there, the pricing should be suitably done, the promotion has to be there, as well as the distribution channel has to be there. So this is what we call as the basic four P's of marketing. So in marketing for tourism managers, how to plan a marketing strategy, the organization, and you need to understand your consumer. Consumer behavior is a big part of this course. Product management and pricing and promotional strategy, the sale distribution strategy and control, this all comes under the marketing aspect of this course. Now in MTTM 7, we deal with managing sales and promotion in tourism. Why we felt the need for a separate course on managing sales and promotion in tourism is because, like I have said, the specific characteristic of the tourism product and services which warrant that more emphasis should be given on how the consumer or the potential tourist should be made aware of the type of tourism products that we have. Because with innovations and with the rising expectation of the tourists, more and more people are coming with higher expectations, and there is a plethora of tourism product to choose from. And if you have a product, and in the plethora of tourism product which is available, if yours is not projected well, it is not positioned well, then there is an ample chance that it will not get the attention of the people or the potential tourists, and when the attention is not caught, then it will not translate into sales. So managing sales and promotion in tourism is a specific course which in which we will deal with the sales management, personal selling, the sales process, how it is done, and the skills that is required when you are personnel working in the sales department, sales planning and organization, the forecasting, the budgeting, the controlling, all these things are also taken care of. The marketing communication process is another important area, and promotional media use, the types of selection, which media to use in which situation, for which product, which service, because for each product or service that or the clientele or the target market that you have, you need to have the different selection of media users. Managing the client agency relationship, how to design the message and how to develop them, these are all included in this specific course. And for people or learners who are interested in setting up their own business, a startup or an entrepreneurial entity, it is important to understand why managing an enterprise is the various facets or the various issues which comes while preparing or starting an enterprise or an entrepreneurial journey. Many of the tourism products or services that we have, be it in terms of homestays or you are a tour escort or you are thinking of an innovative product, this always first happens in a small scale. Now, when you are intending to be an entrepreneur, we need to understand what do you mean by entrepreneur, who is an entrepreneur, and what do you understand by entrepreneurship, the institutional interface which is there, and this is taken care of in terms of the skills that you required as an entrepreneur in terms of opportunity scanning and identification, the market assessment, the choice of technology and the selection of size. You should also be able to understand what will be the source of my finance, because when you are starting as an entrepreneur, you are on your own, so you have to pull in the finance from your side, or you accumulate it from your friends and relatives, because many a times you do not have access to large loans from institutional banking system. But nowadays there have been lots of efforts and have been pumped into the entrepreneurial sector by the government, so we need to understand from where can I access these loans to start my business. So once everything, the conceptual foundation is there, then the entrepreneur will be in a position to prepare a business plan. Now the business plan, we have in the business plan the types of organization structure that can be followed, whether it will be sole entrepreneurship or you are going to take it up along with your partners. We have the partnership form of government, we have the company form of government. So the different types of ownership of and structure and organizational structure are also explained. The financial management issues, it is not only the source of finance which is important, it is also important that the managers or the entrepreneur who is going to start a business, he knows how to manage his finance. So issues in managing the finance is also taken care of. Human resources, when you are starting up, who are the type of employees that you need to employ to begin your journey, that is again important. Management, performance, assessment and control, and managing family enterprises is all there in this course on entrepreneurship and small business. Then we have a course MTTM 9, Understanding Tourism Markets. Now basically understanding tourism market is part of the marketing course. But again, here we have decided to have a full-fledged course. Why? Because the importance of the tourism market is often underestimated, in the sense that you need to know from where your tourists are coming from. So even if it is not only about the tourists who are buying your product or the services, you also have to keep on looking for potential tourists. So from where are these potential tourists coming? So in terms of understanding the tourism markets, how I would source my tourism resources, information, this is important. And the segmentation, when you are talking about when almost every other person on the planet is a potential tourist, you cannot cater to each and every one. So according to the specialty that you have, if you are a tour operator specializing in adventure tours, then you need to find a target market who will be interested in your adventure tourism program or the product that you have developed. So you will not look for kids who are still in their toddler stage. You will also not look for aged people or pensioner, because for an adventure tourism you need physical strength, you need stamina. So you would be concentrating, you will be having a specific profile of tourists who will be, you can call them your target market. So segmentation is very important, targeting and positioning, because once you have segmented the market, then it is easy for you to target them and it's easy for you to position to them the product that you have. Because if you do not target and position, then it will be difficult for you to you will be wasting a lot of energy and money into it. So domestic markets, Indian outbound markets are also discussed in the context of India. We have a domestic market is in terms of tourism which is happening within the boundary of India, and outbound tourists, as you know, it is for tourism which crosses the international boundary. So we have specific reasons, like the East Asia Pacific region, the South Asia, Middle East and Gulf, United Kingdom and Europe, American market, the NRI market, specific units on that. So that will give you an idea of the type of the profile of tourists who are coming from this market, and what are the situation there wherein we can target them for inbound tourists, as inbound tourists to India. MTTM 10 is on tourism impact. So we start here with the sustainable development, a debate on sustainable development and tourism expansion. And we go on to the global impact. We also have gates in tourism. Then the various type of impacts, economic impact, the cultural and social impact, the environmental impacts, and even the political impacts, because tourism is also related to the politics or the political system of a country, of the destination. The code of ethics is also being discussed here, and as well as the tourism legislation. Now in MTTM 11, which is tourism planning and development, we start with the evolution of tourism planning and the various considerations that need to be taken when you are in the planning process, whether it will be the environmental and socio-cultural consideration or the economic consideration, the political considerations, the approaches, the various approaches to tourism planning, or how to develop the tourism plans. Is there we have also talked about the 5-year plans of it is no longer there, the 5-year planning in India, but a gist is also given on that. Then we have the components of the tourism development plan, the technique, survey and area characteristics, how to plan a tourist attraction, the implementation and the monitoring, because many a times because of unplanned tourism growth, because we do not monitor it properly or we do not implement the strategies that has been devised, we've seen a lot of negative impact to the extent that tourism destinations are being destroyed. So we learn from it, how to learn from it. We have the bad examples, we have the good examples. So the various levels of planning in terms of global planning or at the national level or the regional and the local level are also part of this course. And MTTM 12 is on tourism product design and development. We talk about the characteristic of the service product and how to go about designing them and how a destination needs to be designed. We have got specific cases wherein we talk about special interest tourism, the issues that arises when you are designing for special interest tourism, cultural tourism, or religious tourism in terms of pilgrimage or ecology and wildlife. We have taken specific cases like adventure tourism. What are the issues which comes up? Health tourism, beach tourism. So this all comes part in the MTTM 12. In MTTM 13, we have tourism operations. Now, how and why should we understand tourism operations? We have to take into account the residents' concerns also, the quality management as well as the customer care, and then managing a tour operation. What comes into it? How do you manage a tour operation? Or if you are thinking of starting a travel agency, how do you manage that? What are the different departments in the travel agency? What are the types of facilities which is provided by a travel agency? And in terms of hospitality operations, we have the front office, the housekeeping, F&B services which are there. In MTTM 4, we have transport, tourist transport operation. We give more emphasis to the road transport. And the required, if you are intending to establish your own tourist transport business, what are the requirements in terms of infrastructure and capital, costing, pricing, how do I do it, selling in tourist transportation, the managerial aspects, the laws and regulations, car rental agencies operation, how to manage the leakages. This is all explained in this course. Then MTM 15, we have our MTTM 115, we have the business travelers, the meetings, incentives, travel management, convention management, trade fairs and exhibition, managing exposition, event management, logistic management, organization, and cases are also there. Now MTM 16, or the dissertation work, we feel that once you are into this area, it is equally important that you do a lot of market research. And how do we bring a practical component into this course, into this program, is through this dissertation work. And the aim is to sharpen the research skills, provide a practical understanding of the tourism system. So whatever you have learned in all, when you are taking up a dissertation work, you are going in-depth study. And when you are going for an in-depth study, you are acquainting yourself with the operation of the topic that you have chosen. Supposing if you have chosen a topic on the working of a travel agency, so you will be going there, contacting a travel agency, and you will understand. So the theory that has been covered in the courses, when you have taken a tourism dissertation work, then that translates into the practical understanding when you are actually working on it. So it gives you some field exposure. So this is the basic aim of having a dissertation course in this program. What are the steps? We have to select a topic and prepare a proposal. Like I said, it should be about 1,000 words, and then you have to submit it to the program coordinator. And after approval from the school, you start working on the dissertation. And once the dissertation work is complete, you prepare and then you submit the dissertation report. So all counselors of the MTTM program at the study center are recognized as supervisors for guiding this dissertation. You can also have a supervisor from outside the university system, so it may be from other universities, maybe in academics in a related field, but they should have at least 3 years of teaching experience. And if you are taking somebody from the tourism industry, then the supervisor should have at least 5 years of managerial experience as a manager in the industry. So how to prepare a dissertation proposal? First, you need to come up with a workable title. Then you have to explain why you are choosing that topic. That is the rationale behind the proposed topic. The objectives of the study has to be given in terms of what you intend to study or investigate during in your dissertation work. The review of relevant literature to identify the research gap, and then to find out what has been attempted so far in that area. And then accordingly you make the research plan and the methods. This research plan and the method, the learner has to give it in terms of the objective that has been stated. So how you are going to fulfill your objective. It is with what type of methods, research method. Then you have the tentative chapter outlined. So the submission of the proposal has to be given to the program coordinator, while the submission of the dissertation report has to be given to the registrar, Students Evaluation Division. So in all, MTTM is a very comprehensive program taking into account various aspects which are useful for a manager to efficiently and successfully perform his duty. So this is all that I have in this program. I hope you will be interested and enough to enroll in this program, and all those students who are already enrolled, you have been introduced or you have cleared some of the doubts that you have. Thank you so much.